Hi Aquarius, this is Heather, the medium on a mission, bringing you your 2020 forecast. And what I'm going to do is pull a card for one card for each month, and it will be the flow of the energy. So it may not resonate for that month, but it should be the flow of the energies that you would experience for the year. So again, this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everyone, but if it'll make sense to you. If you feel the resonance, then you'll know it's for you. And so as I just sort of tuned into your energy, Aquarius, what I was getting for you, it's this feeling of this year you're going to find out who your people are, and this feeling of like who's got your back, who's important to you, and who's worth keeping around. I do feel like some of you will be moving away from certain people, certain relationships that no longer serve you. It's walking away, but it's doing it in a way that you're not, there's no regrets attached to it. It's like, yeah, it turns out I'm going to go home right now. Like I'm going to leave. This isn't working for me. And so this could be job changes. It feels like there's sort of more sudden, not sudden in the sense it hadn't been well thought out, but I feel like this feeling of like big shifts for you in this year, that you're like, it's kind of like that, the clarity of sight, right? There's another, one of the signs that receive that as well. It's the feeling of being more clear, having a clearer vision this year than I keep hearing that song, Clear Vision. I don't know what that song is. I'm not going to sing it. I'm sorry. But it's that song about just being more clear on your path forward, but it's by cutting things out of your life that are weighing you down and not conducive for your energy. So that's the energy of what I'm getting for you specifically. Now, for those of you celebrating a birthday in January, happy birthday. This kind of, it looks like early on is where you're going to start experiencing some of these things, and you've got your solar return as well. And so sometimes that's where the shift occurs, where we start to like, wait a second. So I feel like that'll be significant for you as well. So I'll just pull the cards and we'll see what Spirit has to say. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Aquarius for January to June? What messages do you have for January? Okay. Okay, no other signs got that this so far, and I'm pretty much almost done with all the readings here, so interesting. Ooh, I feel Spirit coming in on your reading right now, really strong right now. Okay, I just felt their energy. I get chills certain parts of my head depending on what messages they're trying to convey. And I'm getting that a lot right now. So yeah, definitely. All right. Okay. Wow. Your reading is very different than any of the other signs. A lot of times the signs will tend to, there's an energy vibration of certain different, or said differently, there's a lot of energy vibrations that are going to be prominent for the year. You've got a slightly different energy than I think all the signs combined. There's just different energies that are coming in that I haven't experienced yet right now with what I'm seeing here. So with that being said, so we'll jump in. So we've got you starting the year off. You've got this feeling of contentment. I feel like things are going well. Some of you, again, it's your birthday month, and it's this feeling of kind of going into this space of happiness. You've got these 9 cups. You're just coming back from the holidays with everything, and it just feels like it's really good for your energy. And then we move forward into to May, or I'm sorry, gosh, I don't know why I said May, just completely jumped ahead there. Sorry about that. And February, and we've got the 4 of Swords, and this is all about this, rest, recuperation. It feels like this feeling of a little bit of contemplative energy around certain things. But I have to tell you, I feel like there might be something in December that you're going through. There might have been something where, actually, no, it could have been September, October, November, December. No, it's going to be the last 3 months of the year, where there may have been certain things that has happened, or things that you've gone through that you sort of pushed aside, and you weren't really dealing with the energies. You're coming off the holidays, you're just kind of, going through this space. But then I feel like you're coming back to that, and there's certain things that you're looking at and re-reviewing through another lens, because I feel like it's something you may have tucked away, you know, put away, and now you're like, wait a second, I need to go back through that because some things are just not feeling right. Like what's going on? It feels like in some cases there may have been some instances where you may have been taken advantage of by people, or feeling like they're not showing up to the relationship to the extent that you would expect them to. So that's what I'm getting for your energy there. And then we get the Justice card in March, and that's that feeling of like something feels off. Something doesn't feel really good in resonance with my energy. It feels like, it just feels like there's been certain things playing out in a way that's doesn't feel like it's on the up and up for you. And it feels like there's a reevaluation going on in terms of your energies and some of the things that you've been experiencing. And so when we go into March, or to April here, this is where we've got the Devil card. And so the Devil card, to me, this is all a card of that. It's the bondage, right? It's the addiction. It could be addiction to people. It could be circumstances. It could be like outdated, maybe of you, some may have a physical addiction, but it could be to people as well. I feel like a lot of energy around people here. And so I feel like there might be some people in your life that you're like, you know, I realize that these people aren't good for me. I'm getting that kind of birds of a feather flock together. And it's like, but I'm not that person anymore. I don't want to be that person. And I feel like you're moving away from these things because it's just not conducive to who you want to be going forward. So I feel like there's a little bit of a purging of the energies of the people of the past. Now, again, this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to everyone. But I do feel like there's that realization and the awareness around this, but I see this as being a card of action as well, because it's this feeling of it, the awareness has been lit, the candle, it's out there, the flame is going. And as a result of that, I feel like you're attracting new energy. And so this feeling of, you know, you come into May and you've got the Lovers card. It's this feeling of like, yeah, no, I'm aware now of the energies and the circumstances, and now I know who has my back. It feels like some of you, there may be a little bit, I don't want to say a betrayal, but it feels like there may be someone, and there may be a female in your life where it feels like there may have been some things that happened that went wrong, and it feels like the awareness around this now, and I feel like there may be a situation where it needs to cut ties. It's not working for you anymore. But I feel like when you do that, it's going to bring about this new life, and it's this feeling of reconnecting with the people. The other thing I'm getting to, when you put energy into people that don't deserve your energy, you're taking away energy from those who do. And so I feel like this feeling of when you cut these people out of your life that are no longer serving of you, you have time to show up for those in your life that do deserve your love and attention. And so that's really what I'm getting here in terms of the energy for May that's coming in. So this could be a physical romance. It could have been a third party situation where you're cutting someone out because it just isn't resonance with you anymore. You realize that you know, there may be a situation where you were dating one person and you realize that they weren't good for you anymore, and now you're going over to this other person, but it feels like it's something regarding that as well. It also could be a job situation, but it feels like it's more on the relationship base is what I'm getting. And so yeah, I mean, it's a really good kind of energy flow of what's occurring there. And then in June, we come over to the Emperor card. And so really what I'm getting with the Emperor card, it's this feeling of, it's interesting because there's this feeling of being the structure in place and having more of that, it's kind of funny how he's looking over here at the Lovers card and this feeling of, this is the structure I should have put in place some time ago. This is what I should have done. And it's this feeling of now I've done it and now I'm decisive. And I get this feeling, you know, that anytime I see any of these birds or anything and they really stick out to me, you know, sometimes they have them on a lot of cards, but when they pop out to me, it's the feeling of you taking action. You've taken the action and now you're looking back and saying, yeah, I'm not going to let that happen again. This is where I go now. This is what I'm very decisive in my action, and I'm not going to be wishy-washy of this energy or just kind of hanging out. And so yeah, it's really amazing flow here in terms of the energies and the things that you're pushing past. And so it feels like a graduation for you though as well. It just feels like your energy is graduating into a new space where you're seeing things differently, and you're approaching it from a very mature perspective. Not to imply that you weren't before, but it just feels like it's very different for you now. And wow, to have the that card right after the Lovers, and that's beautiful. All right. There you go. All right, perfect. Okay, so these cards, I mean, the next card here in terms of this is essentially your happy life. You know, this is a beautiful card to be followed after the Lovers card, because this is a happy home. You've created this happy home. You've got this, the other thing too, it's, you know, the reversal of this. You've got the Roman numerals, it's V1, and then you've got 1V. And so you've literally taken this situation and created this happy life. And so it just feels like it's sort of this trifecta of all things coming together and being in a way that's much more positive for your energy. Go forward. Now, it's interesting, when I come to the 8 of Swords here, I don't feel this. Again, this is the thought, right? This is the feeling of like, this is the mind. This is not the emotions. This is not anything else. It's this feeling of the mind space. But it's under this card, and I'm really being drawn to the fact that this feeling of like, this energy is coming back. So whatever this is that you've sort of pushed aside, I feel like there's something I don't want to say push aside, graduated from, you're aware of now, you've moved out of this energy. Now you've embraced this new life. It feels like someone might be trying to come back in, and because it's like you've had this success now, you're in a much different place, you're much happier, and they're coming back and saying, well, wait a second. And so I just encourage you to keep moving forward when that energy comes in. You don't have, there's not a lot of swords, like the mental space. It feels like it's more of like the action and kind of the decisive energy that you have this year. But it feels like this year is a little bit, there's some mental battles that you may fight a little bit within yourself. But you can see here immediately that you've got this, but then immediately over you become the Queen of Swords, right? So you're like, you know, I'm coming back to this space. This is not, you're taking that power back, and you're saying, look, I've released this bondage here. I've moved away from this injustice, and I'm not going back to it. I'm coming back here. And so that's kind of the flow of the energy that I'm seeing here. And the next card, you've got, he's reaping the rewards from all the work that he's done here. He's cut this energy out. He's moving forward, and now he's enjoying the fruits of his labor. And so that's really what I'm seeing with that. And then we move to November, and we've got the 5 of Swords. So with the 5 of Swords, I just feel like there's, again, it feels like a little bit of residual of this energy, but I also feel like this feeling of having to cut energy in a more permanent fashion. But there's more regret on this side than there is on this side, because you can look and see he's looking back and he's sort of won the battle, right? He's won it. He's like, I have to do this. And it's this feeling of sometimes when we have to say goodbye to people, circumstances, situations that no longer serve us, and then it's like, is this really goodbye? Are you really moving forward? And it's, yes, it's not, this isn't serving of my life anymore, and I have to make this decision to move forward and do what's best for me and my family, and I just can't have this energy. And so to me, this is a purposeful thing. This is not the energy that I'm getting here. This is this feeling of being inside the head. This is the side of, I'm literally cutting out this energy and I'm moving forward. And here you end the year with the Knight of Pentacles. And so this is all about, again, that financial prosperity. This is this feeling of, I mean, it's to me, this is that card of you're results oriented. You've achieved what you've looked to achieve this year. So if you set a vision board or objective for the year, that you've come out at the end of the year and you've achieved that. I'm really being drawn to this. You've got the sun here that's popping into this energy as well. And so it's kind of the sword by which he cuts this out leads to the Pentacles. And so I just feel like whatever this is in your life, that there's something that you have to let go of in order to grasp that new level of success in your life. But it's a cutting of the ties in a way that serves you. And it's sometimes people, when you cut energy out of your life that's not conducive to you, it's kind of like the energy vampires or any sort of energies that are clinging on to you because they don't have enough to sustain themselves. it's weighing you down. And so it's this feeling of this is this bondage, this is this codependency. There might be a narcissistic energy that's in your life at this time that you have to let go of in order to maintain fulfillment in your life. And it's sad. It's sad sometimes, this feeling of having to do this. You feel regret because your world has changed and you don't have that sort of heavy codependency with that individual, but you have to move forward. And this is for your own good. So let's pull a final card of the general energies for Aquarius and see what Spirit has to say. Spirit, what general messages do you have for Aquarius for 2020? Okay. Adventures. All right, perfect. And so another sign got this card. I'm really bad when I'm in the channeling space of remembering all of the individuals, but for this card specifically, again, we get this energy of this bird kind of coming in here, and this is all about a card of taking action. And when you take action, when you move forward, you can have these amazing experiences within your life, but you have to be willing to take those chances and move forward with those. And, you know, that's a good way of looking at it. Adventures, right? They're all life's experiences. All, you know, some adventures are funner than others. Some have a little bit more bumps along the way. But at the end of the day, it's all about taking that into your own hands and kind of enjoying it. But looking back with a space of gratitude of those experiences that you went through. Because there's no, you know, no vacations are bad vacations. Some just are, you know, a little bit, you get to learn a little bit more from others than you do from some. So I just feel like that's what's coming in for you. So I'm going to read the definition from the book for adventures. And so you get that clarity of what that is. So I'm just going to, let's see, it says something is exciting around the corner. You are entering into a new frontier fulfilled with expansive energy. Begin to look at your world in new and different ways. Something that you thought was mundane or someone whom you may have overlooked will open the door to new opportunities and bigger and bolder way of living. Be willing to see the world around you in new ways. Don't be lulled into complacency. The cards appear when you are ready to move your blinders and take action so life doesn't become stagnant and lackluster. It can also signify incredible spiritual attunement and spiritual voyages. So to me, that's all connected with this moving away from this energy that's not serving you anymore for this new life. It's quite amazing. It's such a beautiful accompaniment to all the other cards that came out. So I'm just super excited for you, Aquarius, and you'll have to let me know how that resonates for you. But you've definitely got a lot of energy that's coming in for you. And this is all you, right? The swords, this is all your energy here. This is, you know, Queen of Swords, that's you. And you're taking your power and you're doing it in ways that serves you going forward. So Aquarius, I hope this was a helpful reading for you. I wish you all the best. 2020, namaste.